Alright, let's go do these two other investigations since I didn't remember that they were there. And I completed the main investigation, even though I haven't accused anyone yet, but I should have done these before doing the main investigation. So let's go ahead. I think we have a long walk according to the map. Look how far that is, bro. Crazy. Alright, halfway through there, had to kill some freaking raptidons, bro. I don't know why raptidons are on this little asteroid planet. Someone let them loose, I can bet. This is not even a planet, bro. This is a... What the hell is this? Alright, good. Terrabeak. Yes, Terrabeak. The hell is inside here? This side of the planet is on, not planet. Yeah, we're on a planet, I think, right? Oh, we can't go out into the outer space map. Okay. But I don't remember if we're on a planet or an asteroid or something. But whatever we're on are floating stones in the air, propelled, held up. Oh, I can't unlock this though. Held up by big engines. But anyway, let's move on. Still gotta go there. We got a long way to go. What is this? Why are they raptidons here, bro? Canid. These are canids. The other ones were raptidons. Ooh! Damn. Yeah, this is the best best rifle. Why is this one this big? The fuck? But this is the first I've gotten a rifle that actually is this powerful.
Setting a new record for the Grand Colonial Bellhops Laundry Cart League. If you're listening to this, you're listening to history. And Daltrey, as we agreed, when I win, you're scraping terrorist shit off the windows for the rest of your contract. And you can stow the fear of heights routine because there's no way you're weaseling out of that, pal. Here goes.
Are they racing down the bridge?
Move the box! No, not! No!
Oh shit, they crashed. He crashed right here. And released the things in the case there, the canids. I got a lot of bullets, bro. I got more energy bullets than heavy bullets. I'm not really using any light weaponry right now, so. Alright, we're still 400 plus meters away. What is this area? Are these people hostile?
We heading inside, Captain?
Byzantium tourist.
I got your back.
Alright, they don't seem hostile.
but we're a little busy right now. I'm sure one of the other guides would be happy to give you a tour.
Lawrence, do you know who you're talking to? We always have time for the inspector.
The inspector? That's you? I am so sorry. We didn't know what we were doing. We're so sorry. It'll never happen again.
Perception. It seems like a strange spot to loiter. What are you doing? What are you two doing?
Aw, it's all over. I told you someone would catch on sooner or later, Belle.
Lawrence, let me do the talking here. Inspector, pay him no mind. I'm sure you've bigger saltuna to can than us.
What did he mean by catch on? You two hotel, you know everything about the murder of Halcyon. Helen, you two know anything about the murder?
Happened out here. We've been on this complex for the last day and change.
Are you two
Normally,
hotel
yes,
workers?
But we take guests out on live-action wilderness experiences for additional pay.
And you lost them.
Shoot a raft here, walk there. We're just between tours right now.
Live action? You can shoot?
Hey, I'm not a bad shot. I've been keeping these tours safe for years.
Dexter, your hands are shakier than a sprat climbing out of a vat of nanner spank.
I'm not shaking. I'm trembling. There's a difference.
Don't pay him any mind, Inspector. His upper story's a little gap-toothed, if you know what I mean. But seeing as you insist on sticking your... That is, since you're so curious, I'll fill you in on what we're doing. We, misplaced some people on our last tour. Misplaced them in the maws of some local predators.
Okay.
Now we're stuck here wondering how to get their room keys.
So your guidees were eaten by canids. You got your guests killed and all you care about is room keys.
Hey, we all got our priorities. Not worrying about those keys ain't gonna bring their owners back from the dead. Anyway, the sooner we get those keys back, the sooner we can make it look like the ex-guests checked out early.
You're trying to cover up the deaths of missing guests.
Wouldn't you? I mean, the dangers were all listed in fine print on the waivers they signed. Least they can do is not destroy our reputation when they get themselves killed. We knew sooner or later this was gonna happen. We've got some hush money tucked away. If you can get those keys for us, it's all yours.
Say I got those keys. What's to stop me from telling your boss what happened?
You kidding? You're welcome to.
Our bosses would want this situation resolved, just like us. We're the real victims here. The dead can't suffer anymore, but we can, and we will if we have to pay for all these lost keys.
You guys look like you need a break. I'll find the keys.
Did I just hear that right? The inspector is going to help us, Bill! Thank the stars!
We're not out of the woods yet. Let's just see what happens before we celebrate. We last saw the guests deeper in the wilderness, Inspector. That'd be a good place to look.
Try not to lose any more guests to wild beasts while I'm gone. Alright, that's just a bathroom. There's nothing particular in there. Still got a far way to go. Let's follow the road. Follow the purple brick road. Alright, we're pretty close. Alright, there it is. There it is. I don't know what that place over there is. It's just a gate. I guess there were creatures behind there. Maybe it's the creatures that I just killed. Hold to transition.
If this is a cult, who am I kidding? It's a cult. Hold your judgment until you meet them. Some of my best friends were from Graham's camp.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Before we talk to that person, let's find this discrepancy. Where is it? Get out of my way, guys. Analyze.
Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning. Ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful to your health.
Burning these would generate some pretty toxic smoke.
Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and unconsciousness. Additional likelihood of organ shutdown and/or death.
Discrepancy amplifier. How would these most likely be used?
Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined.
Can you analyze the chemical these herbs are treated with?
Analyzing. Complete. Substance appears to be a mix of industrial solvents and various essential oils. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and starship surface wax.
Alright, make a note of that and let's move on. Hello, lady.
Fruitful and productive welcome, brother. I had a feeling you would visit me. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival?
How did you know I was the inspector? Nice little encampment where they indoctrinate people. I'm looking into the murder of Halsey and Helen. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Certainly, certainly. But first, I'd love to interest you in one of my productivity seminars. We'll free you of those potential hampering humors in a heartbeat.
Didn't Halsey and Helen say you were a hack?
Absolutely not. Any statements by Miss Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding.
Really
With
now?
that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential.
You know, I have been feeling like my potential. Sorry, Prophet, I don't think I can spare the time. I've got a murder to look into. Humors? I don't think I understand.
As science has taught us, the body is made up of two things, flesh and humors. These humors are semi-fluids that, when improperly balanced, may cause you to function inadequately. By signing up for my seminars, you can balance these humors for only mildly inordinate and repeat payments. Cancellation is subject to repercussions.
That all sounds good to me. Something about this seems fishy.
No, I assure you, we all bathe semi-regularly. That's probably just the compost heap we have our customers, seminar visitees, lie in.
What the hell?
Freeing oneself from one's body. But of course, no one need subject themselves to such repercussions if they don't cancel. Regardless, can I interest you in a seminar?
Nah. Sorry, Prophet, I don't think I can spare the time. If I wanted someone peddling sprat oil, I'd buy a sprat hearse. Don't waste my time. I got a murder to look into.
I understand the pressure of one's employment all too well. We've lately been looking into more ways to bolster the retreat stock of bits. But you needn't worry about how this little conversation is affecting my livelihood, brother. Please, take your time. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, brother. How might I assist?
I'm gonna ask you some questions about Halsey and Helen. Answer truthfully.
I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know?
You and Helen didn't get along, I hear. Did you contact Helen after you left the Grand Colonial?
I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further?
Where were you at the time of Helen's murder?
I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand.
You and Helen didn't get along, I hear.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise.
That's all for now. Investigate the Prophet's alibi. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Prophet of Profitability's Private Prosperity Retreat. Stay positive, and soon all your humors will be balanced. Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the Prophet's right-hand woman. What can I do for you?
What can you tell me about the retreat? Do you know the Prophet well? For positivity, I was hard to look into Halsey and Helen. Let me ask you a few questions.
Oh my. Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my bi-hourly self-flagellation. Ask away.
The Prophet had some kind of feud with Halsey and Helen, right?
Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. Even the hot coal walks weren't buoying her spirits as they usually do. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate whatever the Prophet's fears were.
Now, who's that? Who was it?
I'm actually not entirely certain. It was a surreptitious visit that stood out because it was surreptitious. Whoever it was must have paid the Prophet quite a lot to keep things quiet. At least that's the only reason I can think of for intentionally keeping things so hush-hush.
Was it Spencer Woolrich? Have you noticed any unusual behavior at the retreat lately?
Well, by and large, no. But something rather odd did happen regarding the Prophet recently.
What's that?
A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder of the day. At first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. No one saw her until the next day.
Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was here at the retreat in the company of the other disciples and clients. I rarely have more than a few minutes of alone time. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet, who will, I'm sure, reward me for my sacrifice. Eventually.
Alright, that's all for now.
Certainly.
Do you know the Prophet well?
Of course. I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even have some variations of my own, such as the quintuple daily stomach purges. She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own branch of the retreat someday soon. Of course, I've been waiting on someday soon for coming up on 4 years now. I'm sure it's gonna happen anytime now.
Alright, goodbye.
Actually, before you go, I want to report something suspicious. I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry, so it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly human-shaped.
Oh? You sure it was a body?
I think so. Had the right size and shape.
Couldn't you have brought this information forward a little earlier?
I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to contact anyone. Plus, there's always the possibility that I'm mistaken. The Prophet hasn't been herself lately, but if I misinterpreted the situation and reported her improperly, I'd ruin my chances for opening my own wing of the retreat.
I'll look into it. Alright, what's this over here? View messages. From Ruth Bellamy, that's Halsey and Helen. I've talked with my agents and they've told me that what I said about your seminar not taking them actually lost you about 30% of your revenue for the next 3 months, with future losses projected. When I said I wasn't much interested in attending, I didn't really realize that it hit you quite as hard as it did. Guess that's the price of stardom. Everyone listens to a little extra to everything you said. I'm hoping if you've got space that I might be able to attend one of your seminars today as a means of apologizing. I know that notice is short, but I'm hoping you can fit me in without too much inconvenience. Lee Whitaker. Hey, Prophet Whitaker here. Wanted to ask you how that mix of herbs I sent you has worked out. I was skeptical at first about using them for meditation purposes, but hell, what do I know about productivity? That said, be sure to remember what I told you. Don't cut the herbs asymmetrically. Hampers the texture. Don't leave them out in the sun, and for law's sake, make sure you keep the smoke doses small. Last thing you want is to accidentally send somebody into a coma or worse, kill them. Okay? From your devoted attendees. The other attendees of the Tripling Prophets through Transcendentalism and I have reconvened, and we're all in agreement. Your seminars are simply top-notch. We've seen 5% increase in each of our businesses in total profit since we attended your seminar together. Of course, with the price of materials, shipping, and other costs involved, it boils down to more of a 1% increase, but an increase is an increase. If you ever decide to visit the Grand Colonial, you simply must let us purchase you a round of drinks. Thanks to you, we certainly have the bits for it. Whatever. Alright, we need to find that body. The desert, let's go. Transition to Eridanus. Okay.
Timeline discrepancy detected.
A semi-recent set of tracks in the dirt stands out from the dead leaves and those made by passing creatures.
Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. It is unusual for productivity disciples to wander more than a few feet from the camp.
They're not mine, are they? Are they Helen's? Any good idea who made them? Are they Helen's?
No. Helen's distinctive shoe size not found. Judging by footprint depressions and shoe size, these prints were either made by the Prophet of Profitability or Adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating. These footprints were made by the Prophet of Profitability.
Alright, cool. Let's see what's out in the desert and find what body is out here.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
Okay, so what other?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Oh!
I saw it turn over on its side. I thought it died. What the hell? It's still alive? What the hell? Damn, bro.
detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
Alright, so the tracks went this way. Is this the body?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Judging by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, a person of medium height and build laid here for a number of hours, scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt.
Perception. I'm imagining things, or does it seem like whoever was dumped here got up? Corpses don't get up and walk away, and there's no evidence of the body being torn apart. Let's go with that one.
Agreed. Likely theory. Individual injured was unconscious, not dead, and walked away after awakening.
Strange. Let's keep this in mind. Leave conversation. Yes, complicates things. Could be this was specifically set up to throw us off the trail. Let's be careful. Strange. Let's keep this in mind. Alright, so what's the next? Profitability. We need to go back to her. Alright. It's a lot of runaround, bro. This is what I hate. I know it's an investigation, but it's a lot of runaround. I still don't know who to accuse yet, so I'm trying to do these other 2 quests just to make sure. To see if I find the right person.
Welcome back, brother. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, brother. How might I assist?
You've got some interesting herbs here. Someone said they saw you dragging a human-shaped lump into your yurt. You said you had no further interaction with Halsey and Helen before her death, right? I followed your trail to where you dumped something in the wilderness. Alright, someone said you had a dragon human shape, whatever.
Who said that?
Don't worry.
I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, brother. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time.
You're lying. The dirt imprint that I found outside suggests a heavier load being dragged like a body. The quicker you get to the truth, the faster I can leave you alone.
Yes. I suppose the more quickly we get off this subject, the better. I had a visitor, yes, but as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques were too much for them. I had to drag them out by hand. But their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. I'm sure whichever attendee it was is perfectly safe now.
I followed your trail where you dumped something in wilderness.
Oh, really? What did you find there? What did I dump?
There was nothing there but its proportions, I'd say a body. For a prophet, you certainly made some bad decisions. Fess up.
No, I think you're mistaken. There was nothing there, I suspect, and without evidence, I don't expect to be accosted further.
You said you had no further interaction with Halsey and Helen before her death, right?
Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her.
I saw a message from Helen on your terminal about attending your session.
Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters.
You're really suspicious. You've got some interesting herbs there.
I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, brother. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know.
Lies. They seem toxic enough to potentially kill someone.
Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen by mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness.
The wilderness? You didn't dump the body at the Grand Colonial?
Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps too strange. The creatures of the wilderness are much less picky. Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it all that way without someone realizing I was dragging a corpse.
Actually, I don't think you killed anybody, certainly not Helen. This is all a bit strange, but I'm still inclined to believe you killed Helen. You're sure Helen was dead?
I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. Usually my customers at least writhe or mumble after a session. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in, if her constitution was truly that weak.
Okay, but how did she get into the hotel? Alright, so actually I don't think...
What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it?
Halsey and Helen's body was found at the Grand Colonial. She was killed there. Look, Helen's body wasn't where you left it. She must have awakened and walked away. The only thing you've done is Alright, let's go with the first one. Halsey and Helen was found at the Grand Colonial.
I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets.
I could care less, lady. Look, if Helen's body wasn't where you left it, she must have awakened and walked away.
No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to fall into a false sense of security so they can strike.
The only thing you've done is be completely negligent.
No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned.
You're up the wall. I'm not getting the constable falsely imprison you. Oh, I guess if you want to be arrested, then I oblige you. You want to go to jail? I don't know. I'm not sure you get paid enough to do my job. I can't figure you out. I think about whether or not you should be arrested. Whether or not you killed Helen, I think imprisoning you is probably the safest option. I can't figure you out.
I can't say I'm pleased by being kept in the dark. I hope you'll come to your senses sooner rather than later, and have me arrested.
I want to know, confront the prophet. I want to know how the body moved. Report to the administrator. Nah, not yet. Do the man who chafed. Let's do that one first. Because I'm still kind of lost to see who killed her. Because if she was dead when this lady dropped her in the freaking desert, how did she get moved to out here? How did she get moved to the Grand Colonial and end up dead in the Grand Colonial? And I think she was like shot, right? Like small tiny holes from the needler. Okay, Dr. Goodnight, he's inside the Colonial. Shit. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Upstairs. Dr. Goodnight. Gotta pick it.
Nice work, Captain. What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear.
Oh god, that's not where he is. So I just wasted my lockpick for nothing. Alright, he's sitting here. Is this her? Why are her eyes still open, bro? See, there's blood. That means she was stabbed or something, or shot with a needler. Let's talk to the doctor.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report.
Let's hear it.
Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, you know, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure.
Someone was trying to poison Helen. You sure it wasn't just hotel food? I should speak with Spencer then.
Conversations with Mr. Woolrich tend to spontaneously transform into monologues. You'll find him on the VIP guest floor. I'd best return to work, Inspector. Autopsies always whet my appetite, and all this talk of food is distracting me.
Alright, so she was killed by plasma stuff. So she was shot by a plasma gun. The thing that she ingested, the poison thing, wasn't enough to kill her.
What floor would you like to... Oh, so sorry, but you're not actually authorized to visit that floor. What authorized floor?
So why can't I visit that floor? Even going this far into this thing. Alright, you.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
I need access to the VIP guest floor.
I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it.
Right, pay 800 bits. It looks like you dropped these. Persuade. The only guest who would have a problem with me being up there would be the murderer. And try to... Alright, let's persuade.
That's a good point.
I'm not giving you my money.
If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
Thank you. Goodbye. No, finally I could go up to this damn floor. I should have checked the doctor a long time ago.
What floor would you like... If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
But at least I chose the right options with the prophet. That she didn't actually kill Helen.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout.
Okay.
Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready?
Bro, what are you talking about?
You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology.
You'll never take over Halcyon, you fiend. Wow, how did you know I was captain? Draw your weapon, huh? I'm getting embarrassed by proxy. You wanna talk like a human being? Let's go, huh?
Well, that wasn't in the script, but you did at least convincingly sound like an idiot. Congratulations. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here?
Brother, I'm here to investigate the murder of Halsey and Helen. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you, I'm nothing special. Just an old crook with more money than time. That was a quote from The Retiree's Revenge, in which I played an ex-thief turned decrepit old man. But, of course, I'm certain you already recognized it. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard.
Sorry, cracked my finger. I'm not here for an autograph. I'm here to ask you some questions. Make a rude gesture. How about you sign this? Why are you asking me to sign things? Are you okay? You can sign my weapon if you want. Alright, no. I'm not here for autographs.
Do you mean to say you're not a fan?
Bro, I just told you I'm an investigator.
How did you get in here? The only staffer cleared for guest room entry is the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Oh! Hello.
I already told you that, bro. Do you derive some kind of pleasure for wasting people's time?
Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in.
Come on, hurry up.
You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in the Marauder's Bane, the absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
Alright, come on, bro. I'd like to ask about the murder. I hear you were poisoned.
Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation.
No, bro, I'm not poison you. Can you think of anyone other than a chef who would want to harm you?
None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve.
According to the coroner, Helen was poisoned.
How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me.
No.
I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you.
Helen wasn't killed by poison.
Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor.
Why didn't you go to the clinic for your stomach pains?
Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. Very well, then.
Alright. I've learned a thing or two about your activities in the hotel. I'd like to ask about the murder.
Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if
Come on, bro. It's just a lot of talking.
How was it that Bellamy met her end?
You tell me. He was poisoned and shot with plasma. Why are you so curious?
Why, I'm merely worried for my own sake. Perhaps whoever came after her could come after me next. But if you don't want to tell me, I understand. Whatever happened, I hope poor Bellamy didn't suffer.
She didn't suffer, okay? What were you up to the time of the murder? Speaking theoretically, I would want to ask that, but alright, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character.
Got anybody who can corroborate that?
Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating.
You were meditating, really?
All actors have their methods, And this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability.
Okay.
She taught me it for my role in the unemployed cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much.
How long have you worked with the Prophet?
Actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The unemployed cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should.
Alright, I'll back to my other questions.
I'll answer whatever you wish.
Alright, come on. Theoretically, how would you kill her?
What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of.
Did you know Helen well?
Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids.
Must have been too flattering, always starring alongside a young actress. Did you consider yourself friends of hers? Why do you keep starring alongside her?
I'm not too proud to admit it. I couldn't get work on my own. Whether or not I wanted to accept it, Bellamy had captured the eye of the colony. People kept talking about the charisma we had on screen, but I felt more chemistry with certain teacup canids than with her. As you may have been able to conclude, I wasn't terribly enamored with Bellamy, but that doesn't mean I'd kill her.
Enough about that.
I suppose that is enough on that.
Alright, last thing.
Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
I found a bottle of tainted liquor. Might have something to do with your poisoning.
That, yes. Yes. I distinctly recall ordering an alcoholic beverage with my meal. This hotel is certainly bringing a new meaning to the phrase rotgut. Management shall receive the complaint to end all complaints.
I've got my eye on you, bro.
I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched.
Got a few more questions about the poisoning.
Must I relive that? But I suppose.
Alright, no, no more questions. Let's. No, I don't care about that. Goodbye. Alright, so we got to check this chef now. Bro, I'm tired of the running around, bro. So I guess it's about time I just freaking.
To the lobby.
I guess it's time I freaking just accuse someone, but I want to get the right person. That's what.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%.
This seems like a workplace hazard. How hasn't Slug caught this?
Searching Slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees.
Is this
Most
normal?
corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame.
Should I turn it on? What happens if I turn it on? If I turn it on and it blows up, that's why I didn't turn it on.
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait. Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later.
This is taking another hour, bro, just to solve this thing.
Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation.
Why are you talking about food? Don't you care about the crime? Smoke sprat, blah blah blah. I'm here to investigate Halsey and Helen's murder. I'd like to ask. All right, go.
Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings.
I think you should fret with this lockdown. You can, for sure. Since when is a murder relevant? It happened 15 feet away from your kitchen. All right. If you're here, I'm here to investigate. Whatever.
You're the inspector?
Mm-hmm.
Here? Why? I mean, you may ask me whatever you want. I have nothing to hide.
Did you prepare Helen's meals? You seem pretty wed to your craft. Were you in the kitchen at the time of the murder?
No. As it so happens, I was down in the employee break room. I wasn't taking an unsanctioned break, of course. I was merely fetching ingredients.
Did you prepare Helen's meals?
Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest.
Helen's last meal was poisoned. You sure no one else was involved? Surprised you would admit to that so openly.
Admit? What are you talking about?
If Helen was poisoned and no one else touched her meal, you poisoned her, right? Something about this isn't that? Why don't you tell me the truth? You need to make sure you got the poisoner's confession. You've been a big help. Alright, if Helen was poisoned...
Oh my lord, this is the end, isn't it? My mother always warned me that the culinary world was too dangerous, but I didn't heed her warnings. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients.
Alibi is a little thin there. Why should I believe anything you're saying? Why were you being so evasive about leaving Helen's food unattended? Any idea where you might find Bellhop Owens? I want to go with why were you being so evasive?
Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it?
Because some halcyon food combinations turn acid when unsupervised. Turn to acid.
What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporations should put barbiturates in everything. Everyone likes barbiturates. But I don't believe that was a risk with Helen's meal. I was, up to something else.
Up to something else?
I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal.
Any idea where I might able to find Bellhop? Sorry, what was Spencer Woolrich doing around the kitchen?
Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here.
Any idea where I might find Bellhop Owens?
Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve.
Bro, this thing just keeps going around in circles.
Particular. let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait.
Yeah, why should I believe anything that you're saying?
I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal.
That's all I wanted to ask about. Guess we'll be seeing if you're telling the truth.
Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.
Man, it's been forever that I've been searching for this culprit, bro. And all of this just keeps leading me around in circles. I want to find the right person. I don't want to accuse someone and then that's the wrong person. Bellhop Owens, constabulary, whatever. Let's go to the freaking video. What the hell? It's a robot.
Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. The Rizzo's constabulary is currently not closed due to a sprat infestation. Bureaucratic processes are currently suspended. At present, criminal reports do not require paperwork. Please lament only in marked lamentation zones. Please speak clearly into this unit's recording instruments.
I need to acquire Grand Colonial kitchen security footage for the archive.
All requests for security footage require a nominal compulsory bribe. Is that acceptable?
Okay then. Engineer, hold still. I'll examine your bit processing unit real quick.
Error. Bit processing unit has been removed. Temporarily surpassing bit fee request. Funds will be requested from Rizzo's leadership with interest at a later date. Delivering footage. Thank you for your patronage. If you would like a wine recommendation to pair with that footage, please submit the requisite request forms. Is there any other assistance this unit may provide?
Alright, where do I watch the footage? Okay, so the footage, I was supposed to steal the footage from here then? Constabulary terminal, optional constabulary, hacking skill too low. Steel sawed-off shotgun, whatever.
Damn. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. An aberration in the expected timeline for this organic being has occurred. Behold, the body of Maria Keene, formerly the constable of the Araganos Atmospheric Complex. No
Why is she
signs of
dead?
life detected. Maria Keene is survived by no known relatives.
Pressure handguns, these are small wounds. She looks like she was shot in the head and neck.
Excellent observation, Inspector. Multiple wounds located in the frontal bone and between the clavicles suggest she was facing away from her attacker. Furthermore, the location and circumference of exit wounds suggest a firearm with unconventional ammunition.
The Needler. Notice some casings on the ground. Ammunition? That sounds like the same weapon that killed the mascot. Yes.
Yes, Inspector. These entry wounds match the profile previously detected on the Rizzo's Rangers mascot. Constable Maria Keene was likely killed by someone wielding the Needler.
I noticed some casings on the ground.
These casings are too minuscule for conventional small caliber firearms. Each casing resembles a lancing needle used for medical and surgical purposes.
Medical purpose amplifier can scan her blood for toxins.
High concentration of potassium chloride detected. Trace amounts of neurotoxin detected.
Potassium chloride, that would have stopped her heart. Make a note, find whoever did this and make them pay. Medical.
These substances show the highest concentration near the entry and exit wounds. Cardiac arrest, rather than physical trauma, is the most likely cause of death.
Amplifier, make a note, we'll find
Your memo
whoever it
has
is.
been noted. This unit has been programmed to offer encouragement during moments of emotional strain. Banter protocol activated. We'll find the sprat bastards responsible, Inspector.
Alright, where do I get her key card from now? Where would I get her? Okay, key card. Steal the constable's key card. And see what's on this. Internet security footage archive. Alright, it's not there. Check diagnostics. Run data recovery. Use read archives. Deleting record archives requires high level clearance. Any attempt to delete official records without clearance is a punishable offense. Okay. Record archives not found. Messages. Please enter passcode. I don't have any. Alright, so how do I watch the footage? Okay, so it says security footage from the Grand Colonial's kitchen at the time of Helen's last meal. Meal prep by Chef Anwar shows the chef working on the dish. Then Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens enter. Owens hands something to Spencer, then leaves. Spencer then appears to say things to the chef, who turns away and walks off screen. Spencer quickly empties something onto Helen's food. So Spencer poisons her. Okay. Alright, so we need to go talk to Bellhop Owens now and then go do the accusations. How the hell do I get out of here? Bellhop Owens. Alright, we're finally close to Owens. Let's see what's happening with him. Is he dead? Yes, he's dead. Bit cartridge. Bellhop Owens's invoice. What do I get for it on the invoice? A list of special requests, some drinks, some food items, and tellingly a recently fulfilled request for a fresh terrary bile gland from one Spencer Woolrich. That's the poison. Confront Spencer. Why am I in a hole? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Are they dead? Oh, they are. I thought they were just frozen a bit. Alright, so I'm gonna report, then confront Spencer, and so on and so on. Okay, so before I confront dude, let's do this.
Inspector, I've just received word that Constable Keene is dead.
Yes.
Please tell me it isn't true.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about it. Say nothing. She was murdered in her office.
Helen, Leora Blossom, Maria Keene. There's a murderer on the loose, Inspector. You must stop them. I don't have Maria to count on anymore, so I'm counting on you.
Whoever murdered her used the needler. Was she important to you? Enough talk. I'll find whoever did this. Let's change the topic. Whoever murdered her.
The needler was among Helen's belongings. Whoever stole it must have been able to slip in and out of the hotel. Maria was my sole representative in Cedric's territory. The entire hotel staff is on his payroll. Any one of them could have killed her on his behalf.
Alright, let's change the topic.
What can I do for you?
I know who killed Halcyon. I finished investigation into Janine LeVay, the prophet of profitability.
Ms. Leva earned that title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The profit business has been profitable for the hotel. Not so much for Ms. Leva's followers. So, tell me, what did you find?
She really wants to be arrested. I think she's a fraud and a cheat. She's clearly in over her head. I think she's a fraud and a cheat.
Ms. Leva's techniques have no basis in modern science, but she makes bits hand over fist. If that makes her a fraud, then she's only as fraudulent as our corporate leaders. Does the Prophet strike you as a reasonable candidate for Helen's murderer?
No. Maybe she needs to be detained until I'm done with the investigation. I'm still considering my options, but no, I doubt she did it. A reasonable candidate, she either did it or she didn't. Alright, I doubt she did it.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you for the update, Inspector. I'll include everything you've told me in my official report.
Alright, so let's go confront dude and then come back here. Alright, here he is.
Please, can't you see my heart is bursting at the seams? I absolutely must go out. A quote from the Sisty Cutlet. I voiced a Sisty pig, aware that it was going to be slaughtered. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
Alright, bro. Ask about the murder. Got more questions. Alright, activities at the hotel.
Have you now? Please do go on.
I have a security footage of you tampering with Helen's last meal.
Tampering? No, no, no. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen and saw a dish that looked good. If being hungry is a crime, you better indict 3/4 of Halcyon.
So, quick question: what was it you wanted the terror bile gland for?
That damned bellhop promised discretion. Well, if you must know, it's an appetite suppressant. How do you think I keep my form so lithe? Terror glands keep me from feeling hunger pangs.
I've never heard of that. You sure you're talking about terror rays? Their bits tend to give folks the runs.
Oh, that's it. I'm firing my nutritionist this instant.
If the terror gland was an upper, you wouldn't be hungry if you took it. For a supposedly good actor, you're not much of a liar. Nice contradiction. Want to add another to the pile, or would you rather come clean?
I want to add another to the pile. Oh, no. Wait, no use in pretending, is there? As it so happens, I may not have had the terror gland acquired for personal use. I may have placed it in Bellamy's meal.
Okay.
But before you indict me, please, just listen. I wasn't trying to kill her.
So who shot her, bro? So you lied about being poisoned. Talk. Oh, this should be good. I can't hear you over the sound of messaging the constable. Talk.
I will. Terror glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. They're supposed to cause extreme lethargy, as if you'd inhaled several quarts of Spectrum vodka. She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die, and even then it would be an extended, arduous process.
Yeah, you really seem like a toxologist, or maybe you played one of the either. Tell it to the authorities. Why poison her at all?
I was just getting to that. I only wanted her to be incapacitated during the Brown unveiling. With her out of commission, the next available celebrity, myself, would get to host the unveiling. Please think twice about telling the administrator of my misdeeds. If he learns the truth, what's left of my career will be left in shambles.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll flip a bit cart.
A bit cart? You're going to place my future well-being on whichever way a bit cart lands? I cannot believe this. Fine. I hope it falls in my favor.
Bro, so who shot her? I'm lost right now. I don't know which one of them killed her, honestly. I'm just gonna have to incriminate someone and hope it's the right person. Because this is taking way freaking too long.
Inspector.
I've completed investigation of the
Excellent.
poisoning.
I trust you have a name for our poisoner.
Spencer Woolrich confessed to the crime.
Oh, I am disappointed. I'd always believed Mr. Woolrich a man of high character. It pains me to order the arrest and detention of someone I admired. I'd like you to continue investigating Helen's murder. You've found the poisoner, but her killer remains at large.
Alright, hold on. Let's see in the journal here. Brave New World, confront Sophia. Make your way. Okay. Alright, that's the main mission.
Inspector. I've been waiting for this.
Bro, I don't know who killed her.
Inspector, who killed Halcyon Helen?
Bro, it's not the prophet, because the prophet thought she was dead, right? Cedric says he didn't know that she was she stole the stuff from him. Spencer claimed that he only poisoned her, but the evidence now, because Spencer could have killed her. She could have found out that Spencer poisoned her. Then Spencer could have stolen the needler, shot the bellhop with the needler, shoot the commissioner, the constable with the needler, shoot the people in the investigation place with the needler, and also shoot her with the needler. But it also could be Bertie, because Bertie could be doing this. But it also gives the option to incriminate Administrator Ludovico, which I was saying it's him from the start. I'm gonna say it's him. You did.
I beg your pardon. You think I killed Halcyon Helen?
Oh please, I knew you were guilty from the moment you called me. I interviewed everyone else. You're the most likely culprit. Alright, oh please.
That's absurd. What do you think this is? Some 2-bit crime drama where the villain gives himself away in the opening act? I expect you to deliver the name of Helen's killer. I expect you to deliver results, Inspector. And if you can't withstand the pressure, then I expect you to resign. We're done. Your services are no longer necessary.
You sound pretty defensive, Ludovico. Got something to hide? Yeah, asshole, because I solved the murder. It was you. Let's go for the hide.
I'm defensive, Inspector, because I'm under attack. I am assaulted by your perfidious and baseless accusations. You're convinced I murdered Halcyon Helen. Fine. Show me some evidence.
I don't need proof. My instincts have led me. The entire investigation is a farce. I'm done playing along. Pat your pockets. I know I forgot something. This entire investigation is a far. Yeah, because he just keeps leading me in circles.
If you have no proof, then you have no case. And I have no further use for you. Wait, don't move a muscle. Someone's just tripped my alarm. And my security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now.
Inspector, huh? I thought you said my services are no longer required. Ah, yeah. Maybe you didn't kill Helen after all. Someone's trying to kill you? Well, shit. Don't let me get in your way. No? What you need is a less obvious trap. How dumb do you think I am? I think it's a trap too, but I'm gonna play along.
Forget what I said. I'm renewing your contract as of this moment. Damn it. Someone's interfering with my transmission. Can you read the...
There's no answer. So you guys, should we help him out?
Whoever the real killer is. I got a feeling they're going after Mr. Ludovico. We need to catch up to him. Fast.
I guess, if we have to. Getting kind of tired of kicking my heels up in the penthouse all day.
Alright. I got nothing going on.
If it's not Ludovico, if it's not him, right? Then it's... If it's not him, it's either Sedgwick or Birdie Holcomb. I was gonna say Birdie Holcomb because I was saying he was close enough to her to get the needler. But then I was like, yeah, this might have been a setup. Let's get over there. Bro, I might have been wrong. I'm not sure yet. It might have been Birdie. It might have been Sedgwick. It could have been Woolrich too. Because all of the evidence is incriminating Woolrich. But it could be Birdie. Because Birdie had access to her room to steal her needler. Why does that shit spit on me from that far away? Alright, I just want to get this game over with, bro. So I can get the last mission, this freaking investigation over with, so I can go to the last mission.
Gosh, it's actually kind of cheerful. Almost makes you forget they're probably hiding a terrible secret in there.
Rizzo's distillation. This probably is a trap. It could be a trap still, but we won't know. Let's just play along and see what. If it's a trap, we kill him.
Valued patron, to our splendiferous source of spectacular spirits and sweets, Rizzo's is committed to bringing.
So we need to go downstairs.
Behind the scenes, I bet you're pretty thirsty. Well, not to worry. We have every flavor of Spectrum available to delight your palate.
Alright, so how do I get downstairs? That's locked. I can't hack it. This is sealed. Sealed.
Job. We are on the job. Can I take my coat?
Nayoka wants a drink, but she's got to remind herself that we are on the job. We are on the job. How do I get down there? The hell, bro? Naked hunch. Oh, come on. Alright, so the entrance was back outside and around, and we get to the elevator and transition through the elevator instead of inside the building. There's blood in here. It's Helen. How the hell is she? I was thinking that she might have still been alive, but who was on the table?
It's you. I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders?
Bro, honestly, I was thinking it was her too. But when I went into the doctor's office and saw the body on the table, I just said, alright, it's not her then. Because the body is on the table. So how the hell is she here? I saw this coming a mile away. No, that's a fair question. You want to explain how you're still alive? Could we take a step back and not blow up any building while I'm still in them? Alright, let's go for it.
Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the Aetherwave industry. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this ball with my twin sister, Belinda.
That must have been her sister in the ballroom. I can't imagine what she's going through right now.
Belinda and Helen.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
Belinda Bellamy and Ruth Bellamy. Administrator Ludovico, a murderer and a coward? Why I never? You used me to pin this murder on someone else. Sorry. You used me to pin this murder on someone else. I don't like being used, Lou. I'm sorry about Belinda. Alright, let's go then.
I have no regrets.
Yeah, it was Lou.
I did exactly what I had to do. I'd do it again if it means defending Halcyon's future. I'd do
it was him.
Heartbeat.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity.
No, but they drive people crazy.
A feeling of joy in their host. A bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again.
They're not symbiotes. I've seen the way the infective behave. That doesn't sound too bad. Halcyon is pretty. And the rake and tidy profit. Then raking a tidy profit yourself. Helen, you were right. Alright, they're not symbiotes.
A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent.
That was you in the labs. You killed Dr. Blossom. What are you talking about? Who did you kill? I'll be a judge of that perception. I know you killed the Rangers mascot. Alright, let's go for it.
The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
Okay.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't working for the administrator. Just how many people have you killed, Helen? I found him rummaging through your things. So let's see, I'm pretty sure he wasn't working for the
employee. He belonged to Ludovico's horrible little family of grinning idiots. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot. They were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do.
Okay then.
I went through them.
You murdered Leora Blossom. You killed Constable Keene. She was on your side. I've heard enough.
You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
I'm gonna help you.
Listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness.
No, being effective with parasites is not happiness.
A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
Helen, I'm with you. Ludovico is out of his mind. Alright, Administrator, I'm with you. I'm helping you, Helen. But once we get out of here, I expect answers. Wait, Helen, I still have more questions. Alright, I'm helping you, Helen. But once we get out of here, I expect answers.
It's a deal.
The lesser of two evils, I suppose. Let's get...
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
Not so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and stay close.
Let's move. How am I supposed to follow you and stay close when you're on the other side of the place? Alright, come on, team. What the fuck? Oh, I'm supposed to crouch? The fuck? Okay. Oh, there's a door right here. Run.
Looks like you sealed the door. Try throwing that switch down there. That should get us through.
What switch? What switch? What switch?
Cap, you're bleeding!
What the The Steam thing is weird, bro.
Head through that door. Another way out.
You gotta crouch, 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 crouch.
There. I've opened that door for you.
Stand, hop over that, run around the corner.
Looks like you sealed the door. Just try throwing that switch down there. That should get us through.
What switch? What switch? What switch is she talking about, bro? Okay, here's the switch. I thought that was a door, not a switch.
We made it. Nice work, Inspector. We may have put a stop to Ludovico's operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out.
So what's the plan?
This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism. Then just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies, fat and wriggling with vital energy.
Spare the details. There must be some kind of pesticide, benign to humans, lethal to parasites.
You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move.
I'll meet you there. Leave conversation. Alright, so I'm gonna end this right here actually. And then in the next episode we finish this up, take out that guy and do some side quests. Because I don't... Should I just keep going? I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.